went to see this one as a Limitless showing before it was released on Friday, so I saw it on Tuesday, really not knowing what this was about, but going, it's got Austin Butler in it. I've seen one trailer for it, I think, if I remember rightly. So I kind of went in a little bit like open-minded, which sometimes works out for the best. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content as well as movie reviews here on this channel every week, as well as some Disney vlogs. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above in case you are looking for something else to watch at the cinema this weekend. I went to go and see Caught Stealing, not really knowing a lot about it. I think I'd seen one trailer and I recollected seeing Matt Smith in it and Austin Butler in it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm here for this. And actually, yeah, there are quite a few big names in this film. We came out of this one going, reminded me a little bit of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, a little bit, although I definitely liked it better than I liked Lock, Stock. I wasn't a huge fan of Lock, Stock. Like, I can appreciate that it was a decent film and I can appreciate some of the humour in it, but it just wasn't for me. It wasn't one I would return to. Whereas Caught Stealing, I was pleasantly surprised. I was worried at first that it might be a little bit silly, because some of the parts, Matt Smith's character seemed a little bit silly, but I think he was just a bit of a silly character. And then you kind of like going through and more stars are appearing on the screen. You're like, oh my goodness, it's Regina King, and oh my goodness, it's Zoe Kravitz, and just like, yeah, watching, going, oh. I mean, you've got Austin Butler and you've got a really cute cat. Like, in terms of like the hook into the film, I think that's their hook into the film. And then you've got this kind of mystery, a bit Big Lebowski, you've got the wrong dude thing going on, where Matt Smith leaves the cat with his neighbour Austin Butler to go off. He's a punk rocker from London. This is all set in the 90s, and he goes off and leaves the cat with him and leaves apparently a whole load of baggage on him as well, and poor Austin Butler gets wrapped up in some not nice stuff, and so you kind of see him going through a really hard couple of days, actually, really tough on him. I would say that the kind of like violence count in this film is really quite high. Again, I think it's sort of higher than the description of it, because we've got kind of, there's guns and there's knives and there's bats and there's just fists and beating up and there's hitting people with cars and there's people dying, and the violence count is quite high. The swearing count also quite high, so definitely know that going into this. However, those things aside, and almost despite of those things, not because of those things, what you have is really quite a compelling storyline, because you want to know which person is double-crossing which person, and which person is the real villain and which person is the real hero here. Because you've got this, if it was a novel, Austin Butler would be an unreliable narrator for sure, but as would Matt Smith's character. And so you really don't know who to trust. And sometimes when you're reading a book, those are the best kind of books. And so I think it translated to this film as sort of the unreliable narrator. You don't know who you can trust. You don't know kind of what's going to be around the next corner. And so what you had was a really kind of compelling, engaging film. It was one of those films where I knew like how long it was going to be, and I knew what the finishing time was, because we went to see it like after having dinner, and so it was like, what time will we be home kind of thing. And I didn't look at my watch, and that's always, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know it's a good film if I don't look at my watch at all, because I'm not kind of eager to go. I didn't leave to go to the toilet. I didn't look at my watch. I just sat and went, oh, ooh. There was one point where I gasped out loud at something that happened. I actually went, audibly, which is another good sign in a film. And then there was one particular killing where I went, oh no. It was yeah, no. It was an interesting ride. And again, I can't talk a lot about like the actual events of the film because spoiler free here. But yeah, you had to kind of pay attention. You had to see what was going on. And the whole time you were just being completely sympathetic. Your sympathies laid with Austin Butler and like his character and what he was doing. And oh, bless him. Yeah, it was yeah, he had a tough ride, but overall I was really satisfied with the way the film played that out and the way the film wrapped up. It was interesting seeing a sort of late 90s New York and what that was like for him, and the fact that he lived in an apartment on his own just working in a bar was interesting. We're sort of back to that whole like Friends era, so that was very interesting. But yeah, should you pay your cinema money to go and watch this one? I think if you're okay with the swearing and the violence, this was a compelling watch. It's a decent length, so you're getting good value for money. It's not overly long, but I was entertained the whole way and I liked the way it ended. And so yeah, if you're down with all of that, I think that this is a really good watch at the cinema this week. As always, if there is something that you want me to watch at the cinema next week and bring my thoughts here to you, let me know in comments. Happy to watch on demand. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on future bookish movie Disney content coming your way. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.